You know, so I've watched some good 0-0s. This weren't one of them.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Titch TV and welcome back to Titch and Geezer's Results Roundup. As always, it's me and my partner, which is the main man, Geezer. Geezer, how you doing? Yeah.
Good, mate. Had a lovely day today. Lovely weekend. Weather's beautiful here. And yeah, we just come to the end of September. We're 4 weeks into spring.
Yeah.
And we're hitting that high 20s already. So expecting a very warm summer.
You know what's funny? Obviously, we're both using not the best of cameras. Yours is probably better than mine. I think mine is only displaying 720. Yours is probably 1080. But I can see the brown in you, your neck, your head. So I think on a better camera, I would probably see.
Yeah, I've made an effort to get out in the sun about an hour a day. And I normally hide from the sun here because it's so brutal. But in spring, it's just nice. Yeah, you can sit out in the sun and enjoy it, listen to some music, and you can bear it.
Yeah.
In about another 4 weeks' time, half an hour, and you're burning. So you need to get out of it. So it's just a nice time of year to get out in the sun a little bit. So,
is your goal to basically make people think that me and you are twins? Is that the goal?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm going to be darker than you by the end of the summer. That's it, bud. I don't tan that well, though. That's the trouble. Yeah. I go red and brownish, but I don't. You know, them lucky bastards have got that lovely, really nice tan.
Yeah.
Just get darker in that, like they've got some Italian in them or Greek or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm never doing that, mate. It's just probably as good as it gets.
But yeah, you can see, and I think in person it'll probably be even more apparent because, like I said, of the limitations. Anyway, enough about Geezer's tan. Right. A lot of these. So we only had Saturday and Sunday. So this is just according to this fixture list in the order that we go. The first game on it was Man City 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Another win. So 6 out of 6 for City. Did you watch it?
Yeah, 2-0. Wasn't it? I watched that. That was the first game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, mate, 2 cracking goals by City. I wrote a note. I wrote this bits down in case I forgot it, but all I put down there was 2 great goals, and remember them now. There were 2 really good goals, mate. Carl Walker down on the right, got the ball to him, just hit it back to I think was it Foden?
Foden, yeah, I'm looking here. Yeah, Foden,
and just smashed it, mate. It was a really good, really well worked goal. And then they done it again, another little chip over the top, and there is Holland.
Yeah.
And there he is to bullet a header in. And the first half, it was just a matter of how many you're going to get. And then the beginning of the second half was bizarre.
I've seen the
Rodri. He just squared up to the Nottingham Forest boy and put his hands on his throat and just touched him.
Yeah.
And then another little touch, and the guys went down rolling around, and the VAR got involved, and they sent him off. And it sort of spoiled the game because Man City sort of went back in their shell a little bit and just tied it up and let Forest come onto it, which I was surprised with Man City to be like that because they normally don't care if they've only got 10 men. But and then it sort of killed the game, and Forest couldn't break them down, and it ended up being that 2-0.
Right. Man City obviously were 2-0 up after 14 minutes, yeah? Rodri got sent off literally in the first minute of the second half. So they still couldn't have been at their best from after making it 2-0 because, you would have envisaged that they would have scored at least one more. So after Haaland made it 2-0, did City, were they relentless? Were they peppering the goal, or is that where it died down before the red card?
From what I remember, they weren't relentless, but they were attacking and they were, dominating the ball.
Yeah.
But the scary thing about it, Titch, is I don't think Man City have been at their best all season yet in the 6 games. No. And yet they've played 6 and won 6. And I don't believe they're anywhere near their best. And they've had slow starts before in a season where they have dropped points, but this time they haven't.
Yeah.
And like I say, they're not at their best yet, but they're still putting points on the board and winning every game.
Scary, isn't it?
It is scary, yeah. It is. It's hard to see anyone touching
Maximum points, and yeah, you're not playing your best. You do have injuries. You have released some of your better players as well. But yeah, Forest. Any good things from them that you saw?
Yeah, they weren't bad. They weren't terrible at all. They look like a team that's not going to be in that bottom six that are battling for relegation,
Yeah.
I don't think Forest will be. From what I've seen of them this year, I think they'll be okay. They won't be breaking any records, but they'll be above the quagmire of relegation, I think. Okay. They'll do all right.
Right, second game is a team that will definitely be in and amongst that quagmire of the six, you would say, bottom six. But they did pick up their first point. That was Luton Town 1, Wolves 1, who also got a red card. Yeah, I haven't seen that. Did you watch that game, or did you see anything of that game?
Yeah, I watched. I'm just seeing what I wrote it down. All right, yeah, 1-1 draw, wasn't it, Wolves?
Yeah.
A ridiculous penalty.
Yeah, I heard.
I've given up now with this handball rule, and there's another game coming later.
Yeah, I know which one you're going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one is even worse because the boy boots it against him, but deflects off his leg and hits him in the hand up here after it come off his leg.
Yeah.
And it goes to VAR, and they give it a penalty. The referee does. How can you control that? A deflection off your leg that hits your hand. How is that a penalty? I just think it's madness. What's going on there? They've got to change this rule back to intentional or whatever. You've got to make a rule change. It's absolutely ridiculous now. Defenders now, I'd hate to defend now in this climate. I'd hate to do it. Because now, what are you meant to do with your hands? What are you meant to do? Anyone can have any shit shot that's going 2 yards wide, and if you've got your hand out here and hits it, it's a fucking penalty.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. You just shoot. You'd be shooting at people's arms now. That's what's happening. People are hitting crap shots, right? Got nowhere, not even on target, hitting someone's hand, and they're getting a penalty for it. Oh, man. It's just crazy, yeah. That's about all I wrote for that, because Luton and Wolves looked the same as they had done in the previous 5 games.
Yeah.
Pretty bang average. There was a little bit, I think there was a really good goal by Neto for Wolves. He scored it was Neto, wasn't it?
Yeah, Neto scored.
Yeah, he cut in well done. The geezer, fucking, the left back, cut in and banged it. Good goal. Really good goal. But yeah, probably Wolves deserved to win it. But Luton got a point. But like I said, it's the most ridiculous penalty I've ever seen.
Right, so just before we move on, the guy we spoke about, Bellegarde, last week, he obviously got sent off in the first half. Wolves still take the lead, and then a fortuitous penalty. Does that just show you how bad Luton are? Is that if you're at home, your opponents who are not a Man City or Liverpool go down to 10, and you end up only getting a point because one, they had a red card, and 2, you got a penalty that you shouldn't have had. Was it a lucky point, basically, with everything considered?
Yeah, I think so. I think Wolves are the better team. And Neto is the standout for Wolves at the moment. Wolves ain't that great themselves, They're not that good. And like I say, Luton couldn't beat them, when we had 10 men.
Yeah.
Luton, to me, they're just a very average-looking championship side. That's what they look like.
Yeah.
And it's playing out, isn't it? 1 point in 6 games. To me, unless something drastically changes there's nothing but relegation heading for them. Nothing but, And Wolves might not be that far behind them, to be honest.
Yeah. Right. Another one I don't think we'll spend too long on was London Derby, Crystal Palace 0, Fulham 0.
Oh God! I was trying to watch that, flicking through it, and after about, I don't know, about 50 odd minutes, I went, man, this has got 0-0 written all over it. I mean, there's just such a lack of threat from both teams up front.
Yeah.
Really poor. When you think the amount of attacking players that Palace have got, it's surprising, but there was hardly anything happening. You know, there really wasn't. It was Jimenez had a couple of chances, but he's just not ever been the same since that injury, and he's just not clinical anymore. But yeah, it was dire. It was a dire game, mate. It was a 0-0. But you know, I've watched some good 0-0s. This weren't one of them. It was, it deserved a 0-0 and nothing else. It's crap.
Shall we move on from that one?
Mm.
Right. After what we spoke about last week, this result was probably surprised both of us. That was Brentford 1, Everton 3.
Yeah, what I put there? Yeah, what's all of that? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's about right too. Everton were better. That's the best game they've had in the six. You know, they played a lot better.
Yeah.
Brentford were pretty toothless, to be fair. Calvert-Lewin come off the bench and got on the score sheet. What is it? A really amazing stat from the commentator there. That's his first goal away from home in open play for 2.5 years.
Wow.
Isn't that mental?
That's crazy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, because he ain't been injured for all of that time. That's for a striker.
No.
In the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's not good.
And he said it twice. You know, he said it when he came on, and he said it when he actually scored. You know, that's his first goal for 2.5 years in open play.
That's crazy.
There you go. That's probably why I don't rate him.
Yeah.
But he scored, yeah. And I said, yeah, Everton done well. Decore scored a decent goal. He took it well.
Yeah, I watched that game.
Yeah, they deserved to win in this game.
I mean, last week when I asked you, this is the only game I asked for score prediction. You didn't give a score prediction, but you did say, you know, Everton could go there and get a point at least. So you was proved right there. It's just the manner. I think, Everton sort of looked a lot better than Brentford, which was surprising to me. It is surprising. Yeah,
Brentford weren't great. They weren't great in this game.
Just before we move on, will that be a turning point for Sean Dyche and Everton, or are you expecting pretty much?
Not really. No, they'll still be shit. Yeah. They're still going to be shit. What? The beauty for Everton is this year, I reckon there's 4 teams that are going to be so bad, at least, that they'll survive. They'll survive because of how poor. You can almost relegate 2 teams already. You know?
And who would they be?
At this moment.
Who are the 2 that you're going to say, right, you're down, see you later? I know who they are.
Yeah, it's Luton are gone. Like, Luton keep going like this, they're gone. And so is Sheffield United. So all the other teams that are in that relegation battle, all they've got to do is survive being third from bottom.
Yeah.
So to me, that's how it looks at this. I know it's early days. It's really early days. But to them 2 teams, Sheffield United and Luton, they're flying back down, and it wouldn't be hard to keep above them and one more. So
okay, right. So another one of those teams right in that with 1 point. So yeah, let me just obviously everybody knows this, but the 3 promoted teams have all got a solitary point. Burnley 0, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, exactly. Again, Man United again. It's just not really impressing at all. Bits and pieces. Burnley done all right against them, but it took a stroke of brilliance finishing from Bruno Fernandes.
Great goal,
cracking finish. What a goal! And it was, and it took that to win the game, and that was the difference. That bit of class And yeah, but Man United again, they get the 3 points on the board, but they're not looking that impressive. It's all. They're really not. You just can't see what their philosophy is. You can't see where they're going with it. You don't see a team sort of spirit there, or it's really strange with Man United. But
special mention to Johnny De Bruyne. What do you think of that pass for the goal? Johnny Evans.
Quality, man. Absolute quality, wasn't it? It was just on the money. Yeah. And as it was in the air coming over the defender's head, I was in, I'm screaming, hit it. Just hit it. Don't try and take it. And he did. Bang. And I knew he's got that quality in him, Fernandez, isn't he? Yeah. He can. He's a great passer of a ball, long passer, short pass, and he can hit a ball. And he just banged it, mate. It was perfect. Great ball. And Johnny Evans had one ruled out by...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unlucky. First goal in about 16,000 years. Yeah. And he had it ruled out for the boy who was standing in front of the goalkeeper. And I thought it was fair enough too.
I think so. That was offside. It was offside.
Yeah, the guy was interfering with the keeper, So I think it was right. But
yeah. Man United have got a victory. Right. Next game was our boys. Liverpool 3, West Ham 1. Before you speak, so I tried to watch it on this thing I've got, and it weren't working anyway. And then I watched the highlights a bit later, and I was like, oh my days. We had the Souček chance, we had the Antonio chance. Obviously, Bowen scored a great goal. So it was like, I didn't realize, because I didn't watch it, that we could have got sank out that game. I mean, Souček's one was a great save. Antonio's was a terrible header. How much of that game did you watch? And overall, what was your view on West Ham's performance overall?
Well, I watched it all. I stayed up because it was a 2:00 kickoff your time. That was 11 o'clock at night for me. So me and the boys stayed up and watched it. Finished at 1 a.m. And the first 10 minutes of the game is the best first 10 minutes I've seen from West Ham for years. We actually, I couldn't believe what I was watching for the first 10 minutes. We took it to them. Yeah. And then 2 big chances where Souček had the header, and what a great save by Alisson. You know what I mean? That and the Antonio header came in that first 10 minutes. Wow. We were actually all over it. And then we weren't. And then Liverpool started getting the ball, and we sort of retreated back to the old same old. And then we didn't offer that much. And again,
I saw that.
It's becoming a bit of a liability. I think again, he seems to be making these sort of mistakes every week now, and he gives away a penalty. Now nothing, and they're 1-0 up. But we scored an absolutely really good goal.
Yeah,
really good goal. It was really well worked. And I think it was Paqueta up to Bowen. He headed the ball back to Antonio. He put it out to the right. And Soufal it was almost a carbon copy of the goal we scored in Europe.
Yeah.
He chips it over, and old Bowen dipping low, heads the ball in the corner. Great goal. It was really good. And we got to half-time 1-1. But come the second half, there was nothing. We just looked absolutely fatigued, tired, toothless in the second half, and Liverpool ran the show and ended up getting 2 goals. Could have been more. We really didn't offer much at all in the second half. And again, Antonio he weren't at the races in this one. Yeah. You know how good he's been this season when he's been in beast mode. This weren't beast mode. He was getting bullied off the ball, knocked off the ball. He weren't really contributing much. Bowen, really, apart from that goal, weren't doing a great deal. There was too many people under par. Yeah, Paqueta was amazing.
Oh, okay.
If there was a highlight reel of all the things he'd done in that game, I'd love to watch it. You know, someone can put that together.
Yeah.
I'd love to watch it. Me and Kieran were watching it and go, oh, wow. You're joking. Did he just do that? You know,
Wow.
knocking it over people's heads and running onto it and nutmegging people, walking around and holding the ball with 2 Liverpool players on him and just squeezing through them, getting out the other side. He was amazing. It was entertainment, right? Entertainment plus with Piquet.
Mm.
But that was the thing I enjoyed about the game. But like I said, the second half, we were never in it. And didn't deserve anything out of it.
Like I said, I only watched the highlights on Sky Sport app. So when you just said Paqueta, I thought you were going to say he was terrible. But, you know, I'm glad that he had a good game because, you know, he is going to go. It may well even be in January. At the very latest, I believe, at the end of the season. So for me, I wanted to do well for the team, obviously. But the more he puts in performances like that, especially you're saying, look, we weren't the greatest after those 10 minutes. But if he's still standing out, people like Liverpool who, you know, as Man City is interested, maybe Liverpool look at him and say, look what he done against us.
Right, that.
So can we get top dollar for this guy? So he needs to keep putting in those.
I'm not joking. His skill and all that was going on, Titch. You know, it really didn't affect the game as that much. Yeah. But it did. The way he held the ball, the way he beat players in the midfield, the little tussles he's having with a little Liverpool player. He made McAllister look real average 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And he got applauded off the pitch by the Liverpool fans.
See what I mean? Yeah.
It really was a little cameo of how great he was and how skillful he is. You know, and he worked his arse off. But come the 70th minute, you could see he was absolutely out on his feet.
Yeah, too much running.
He worked that hard.
Yeah.
He was out on his feet after about 70-odd minutes.
So, I mean, our results against the top 6 not really going to define our season, but was there enough there? I mean, I'm going to have to refer to the 10 minutes. Was there enough there to suggest that this season overall against the games that we are expected to win, that we should get a lot more points than we did last year?
Oh, I think so. I think we should get more points than last year. It'd be criminal not to. You know, with the money we invested as well, with the new players that have come in. I mean, the last 2 games we've lost, but it's Man City and Liverpool.
Mm.
The disappointing part about it, that first 10 minutes when we went at Liverpool shows you what we could do.
Yeah.
But you know, if Moyes had a different mindset than just defending, I think we've got the personnel to hurt teams, bigger teams. I think we can, and I'll say we could have been 2-0 up there.
Mm.
And but we don't, and we wait until we get done. We wait and we sit back because we're not defending very well.
Yeah.
Regardless of the wins we've had, we haven't defended that well. When say if your goalkeeper's getting man of the match for about 3 to 6 games you played, that tells you're not defending very well.
Mm.
And against Man City and against this, we didn't defend well enough. And again was poor in this game again. Zuma weren't that great. Soufal was getting rips on the right. Emerson had a decent game. I wouldn't knock him. But I say you got 3 out of the back 4 that are below par. Jesus, you know what I mean? You can't win games like that.
Yeah. One sec. Right. So before we move on, fun fact about West Ham is in our last 6 matches, the score has finished 3-1. And in the other game against Luton, it was 2-1. So yeah, like entertainment value definitely there if you want to watch West Ham.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that first clean sheet as well.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We haven't got a clean sheet yet. I think he broke a West Ham record though, Bowen. Was it 4 away games on the trot scoring?
Yeah, and I think last year, did he not struggle last year for away goals or something? Yeah, so he's completely different to last year, I think, in regards to his away form. But yeah, good on him, man. And it was a good goal. Right. Chelsea 0, Aston Villa 1. I mean, we was here last week speaking about Chelsea after, I believe it was another defeat. Or was it a draw? It was a draw to Bournemouth, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Well,
a 0-0 draw. They've lost previously at home to Nottingham Forest, and then now they've lost 1-0 at home to Aston Villa. How much of that game did you watch? Because I haven't seen
I
it.
watched a mini match of it, mate, about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And, the main highlights of the game. Every week I say, look, I wouldn't worry about Chelsea, they'll come good. And 5 weeks later, I'm still saying it. And you go, well, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. They still look like a bunch of superstars running around and not a team,
Mm.
They really do. Sterling is still doing the business. He's still making things happen and whatever, but the others aren't. And I can't explain Chelsea. I can't explain it. When you see the talent that's on that pitch, they can't open up Aston Villa. And I mean, there was one moment there. Digne had a absolute cracking volley that their keeper saved, put it over the bar. And then that Danilo had the same. He had one from distance, and a great save as well. He pulled off 2 great saves, the Chelsea keeper. Keep them out. But then they broke near the end there, and Watkins gets a goal. Has a shot, gets blocked, then hits it again straight for the keeper. And they nick it 1-0. I just don't know what's going on with Chelsea.
Right. Up until Chelsea, Gusto got sent off. Obviously, it was 0-0. Who was the better team up until the red? Did the red card change the game, or not?
No, I wouldn't say it changed the game. I think Chelsea were the better team. They had the majority of the board. They were the better team, but it's just not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
And very little what they were actually threatening Villa with. Few bits, but I wouldn't. No, they should be better. The Gusto challenge, it was dangerous. It was nasty.
Right. Just a few little things here. So Chelsea have obviously got 5 points from 6 games. They've scored 5 goals. They've let in 6. They are 4 points away from Sheffield United in last place, and they are 9 points away from Spurs in the 4th. How bad is this for Chelsea, and what's the best they can hope for? I know it's only 6 games, and what's the best they can hope for in regards to the league position this season?
Jesus Christ, it's hard to say, isn't it? I mean, I look at them players and I went, "Wow, this team should." They're so underachieving. But they can't score enough goals, and they didn't buy a striker. They spent so much money and didn't buy an out-and-out striker for themselves. I've got this Jackson, but this Jackson, I don't know about it. I don't know nothing about him, but he hasn't impressed me so far. There've been bits that he looks good.
Yeah,
but the guy's got 4 yellow cards and they've all been for dissent.
I think it's 5 now. I think it was 4 before the game, and I saw an article where Pochettino has told him about his discipline. So I saw that as an article, and then during the game, watching the stats on Flash Score, I see he got another yellow. I think it's 5. It might be. I might be wrong though, but I think he might have 5.
Oh, he might have. But isn't 5 a suspension?
Yeah, it would
Titch?
be. Yeah, it would be.
So, I'm not sure if he got a yellow in that game. He didn't show it to me.
Right.
So.
Yeah, he did. He got. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just check. He's got 5 yellows in 6 games. So yeah, that is a suspension. But
the worst part about them, 4 are for dissent.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that's ridiculous. That they know the directive that the referees are under this year. Any abuse to the referee, you're getting booked.
Yeah.
And that idiot doesn't learn, and he's been booked 4 times for it. To me, that's he's not very, very clever.
And according to this, let me just confirm this. When did he get that? Oh no, he got it in 50 minutes. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he did come off. I thought it was straight away, but yeah, he got subbed, obviously. After that, I'm just going to see if I can check what that was for. 50. It doesn't say what for. It just, yeah.
I was saying, no, I didn't
No,
see what.
on here it don't say what it was for, but imagine if it
Okay.
was dissent again, that would just be crazy. So yeah, sorry. I mean, if you
Yeah.
had to put a rough position on it, where did Chelsea finish this
At the
season?
moment, you'd put him mid-table,
Yeah,
around 10th.
I was gonna say.
But you always think because they, brought in Pochettino that they'll get better.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd see it by now, but we aren't. We're definitely not seeing it, are we?
All right. Does this make it even worse if you think about it? Chelsea were at home. Aston Villa are coming off an away defeat in Europe. So,
yeah.
Does that make it even worse considering those sort of factors as well?
Well, I mean, the Chelsea fans are booing them off the park already, so that sort of tells you where they are.
Right. The next game was coming from behind. Brighton 3, Bournemouth 1, and Matoma started on the bench and he came on and obviously scored 2 goals. So I haven't seen anything of that game. What about you?
Yeah, but I did. What have I put there in? Yeah. Do you know what I wrote here? Matoma quality.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's right. Bolt, he was 3-1. He come off the bench at half time, I think, and scored 2 cracking goals. There were 2 massive errors from the goalkeepers. Can't remember what they were like. Either end. One where the cross come in and all the keeper was going to do is catch it, and the guy in front of him, instead of shouting to the boy, look, it's keeper's ball, the boy tried to head it and flicked it over his head into the net for an own goal. To me, that was a massive cock up. I can't remember the cock up the other end.
There was a...
That was Bournemouth.
Solanke scored for Bournemouth, and then Kirkhead scored an own goal in first half injury time or stoppage time.
Yeah, the own goal was that cock up I'm talking about, where the keeper just should have called him and would have caught it.
Yeah.
That was for Bournemouth. I'm just trying to think of the mistake the other keeper made. Not that it matters. But can't remember it.
So Matoma, he came on at half time and scored within the first minute as well, which is as an inspired substitution.
It took I think it was 17 seconds.
Yeah.
17 seconds. Lovely bit of football. Cut bit of 1-2 the other guy, great little feet from Matoma, and just slotted it into the corner. Really good goal. And then he got on his second goal, the cross came in, he got in between the 2 centre halves and headed it in.
Wow.
One of the shortest guys on the pitch. But he was good. Really good. Changed the game when he came on. Made a massive difference.
And that's what you want, obviously. That's what you want, and it's had the desired effect. And I would assume it'll be starting in the next game.
Yeah. I just remember the other mistake. The Brighton keeper came out with the ball and it got took off his toes. Trying to be smart.
I think I saw that. That's for the Solanke goal, isn't it? Yeah, I think I did see that. Yeah.
And then Solanke just chipped it over his head into the net.
Maybe I need to watch that. Right, so that win meant that Brighton had won 5 out of their 6. They are now 3rd in the league on 15 points. And I say it again, we are the only team to not only take points off them, but beat them. So, yeah, they're doing well. They're the top goal scorers in the league with 18 goals. So, yeah, Brighton looking really, really good, having, once again, lost some of the better players.
Yeah. Yeah, they've only had one bad day, and that's against us. That's it. And unfortunately for them in Europe, they didn't have a good day, but they might be able to turn that round. It's only a group, so they've still got time. But yeah, they're doing great. They're just carrying on from last year, aren't they? Brighton.
Yeah. Right. So the biggest game of the weekend was the North London derby, which finished Arsenal 2, Spurs 2. And before you speak, can I just say, Declan Rice never got injured playing for West Ham, ever. He got injured for England, and then it affected us, but not for West Ham. He came off yesterday injured. So, yeah, anyway.
I know. Yeah, he didn't come out for the second half, and I went, well.
Apparently, it's a back injury. That's what it says online.
Back? No, the commentator said it was a calf injury.
Yeah, but then and then
But
online,
do you know? I wonder. You know what I mean? I wonder about that now because when the cameras pan to him, it's sitting in the dugout.
Mm.
You know, for the start of the second half, he looked like he was fuming. Fuming.
Yeah, he did.
And I presume from that he substituted him.
Nah, yeah,
But
he looked like that, but yeah, it was because
that's what he looked like.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe not.
It
I'm
might
reading
be just
too
the
much
fact that
into
he
it.
knows it's an injury and he's fuming. And remember, he doesn't get injured.
Well,
Do you think
he'd be delighted that his replacement Jorginho lost the ball and Tottenham scored from it.
terrible, man?
That was bad, real bad. But yeah, it was a good game because I got up this morning. I didn't. Obviously, it was on at the same time as West Ham last night, so I watched West Ham at 1 o'clock. Went straight to bed. And when I got up this morning, I put that on without looking at my phone or anything. So I didn't know the score and see how it went because I've still got a big interest in the old Big Ange.
Yeah.
So they done well. Tottenham. They done well to hold them out until they did score, and they fought back well. And it wasn't a bad game to watch actually for the neutral.
Right.
But yeah, again, our Arteta, he's a fucking clown, isn't he? He does my head in. You know what I mean? I'm starting to dislike Arsenal more than Tottenham now because of him. He's just such a prick. And just whinging about everything and anything and jumping up and down the line. I hate it. Big Ange is just standing there, all classy and just taking it all in.
Yeah.
And again, this is the second game we had with this ridiculous handball bullshit.
Yeah.
And Arsenal get a penalty from it. It's just fucking madness, man. I don't know what the guy's meant to do. You know, his intent is to get his foot in front of the ball he's kicking, and the boy miskicks it, bounces it, and because his hand's up here, hits his hand, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
And I just don't agree with it. Now, if that was definitely going in the goal, right? Fine, I'll accept that. Yeah, he's a penalty. But there's another defender on the line right behind that. There was a goalkeeper on the line. Either of them could have got to that. So you discount that. If he'd been standing on the line when it hit his hand, that was going to go in. Yes.
Right.
Penalty.
It's crazy that you said it because, like I said, we are both football people. And I was going to, when you finished, this is what I was going to say, right? And it's funny. Yeah. So I think certain things should be left down to interpretation. Now, if the linesman runs up to the VAR and then, the referee, if I was the ref, this is what I would have done. I would have went over there and I would have fed back, listen, it was a tame effort. He didn't mean to do it. There was a defender on the line. My interpretation was he would have easily blocked that. No penalty.
Yeah.
But like you said, if you're on the line, if you do it intentionally, you get sent off, right? If you're on the line and that happens, I don't even think it should be yellow. It should be a penalty because you have unintentionally stopped the goal scoring.
Unintentionally stopped the goal.
I wouldn't give a yellow. I'd say you did. I acknowledge. You remember there could be fouls in football which you didn't mean, but they are a penalty. Let's say somebody runs past you and you're looking that way, and your back leg trips him up. It's a penalty, but
it is.
But you didn't know what
it's
you were doing.
Intentional.
You understand? Yeah, you didn't know, but we have to give a penalty because you've tripped him up unintentionally. You have tripped him up. So I think we have to give the referees, I feel, a bit more power. And me personally, and probably by the sounds of it, you as well, I would have determined it's hit his hand. It's completely unintentional. The distance is, but I'm saying what would have happened if he didn't touch it is that defender would have stopped it, or potentially stopped it. It's no penalty. That's what I would have done.
If that was a definite goal without hitting his hand,
you have to give it a penalty,
regardless of whether he meant it or not. But it wasn't that.
Yeah.
And I said it's crazy. They've got to revisit this rule and change it. Got to.
Now, this is what I don't like, right? And it happened in the same game. James Maddison handballed the ball, and that handball actually played a part in him being able to set up Spurs' equalizer. He kept it on when it looked like it had gone off. It bounced up and hit his hand, right? That means if it doesn't hit his hand, it's going to come so high. And you understand? So I think that was even more of a handball than the penalty, but yet the goal was allowed to stand. Did you see that?
I'm trying to remember if I did or not.
So James
I think
Maddison,
I did.
I think he nicked it off the whatever, and then he kept it in at the byline, which at first people thought he might have went out, but as he kept it in, the ball bounced up, hit his hand, so it didn't come any further than where his hand was, and then he set up Son to score in the same game, and then VAR looked at it briefly and said it's a goal.
Are you sure you're talking about because that happened in the Newcastle game?
What
that was that?
Oh,
that
was it Anthony?
That was that was Anthony Gordon.
Oh, okay, all right, my bad. Sorry, why did I think it was that game? All right, my bad.
Yeah, because actually, I watched the highlights with Kieran on that one, and he said, "Dad, but it's not out." I said, "I know." He said, "But it is in. He kept it in with his hand. Why did they not see that? How did they not see that?"
Right, okay, right. Let's right. So we've moved smoothly onto that. So we'll get rid of that. I just thought, James Maddison, Anthony Gordon. Right, we've got rid of that. Let's move on to this game now, which is obviously that game. And then with that goal, obviously that was Sheffield United 0, Newcastle 8, but that was the first goal. The first goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but how do you not see that? Like you said, we're talking about VAR. How do you not see that? All they looked for whether the ball was in or out, and it was in.
Yeah, it was in.
But when he pulled it back, it came up and hit his hand, and it went down to his feet again. And then he played it across, and they scored. When they're looking at ball for not being, whether it be in or out, how do they not see him handle it?
That's a terrible.
It weren't even mentioned. Not even the commentators mentioned it.
Awful.
And I saw it plain as day.
That's what I'm saying. So sorry, like. You have the Arsenal one where straight away I'm like, that's not a penalty, like that ain't. And then that one, it's the game after, that led directly to a goal. And like I said, if it hits your hand, that means if your hand ain't there, the ball's got to come a certain way up, which makes it a lot harder to just lay the puck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it gained an advantage from it.
Yeah, exactly.
And but they don't see that.
Right. Right, let's get to this game. So before you speak, 8-0, which is Sheffield United's heaviest defeat at home. 8 different goal scorers. It probably could have been even worse. What is your... speak to me about this game.
I think it's showing you the difference between Premier League and Championship. How big the void is between the two. And between Luton and Sheffield United, we've got 2 teams there that are really still two Championship teams.
Yeah.
And they look pretty average Championship teams.
Yeah.
And you look at them and go, how the fuck did they get promoted? But they did, and they're really poor. And as you know, with Newcastle, they're a hell of an attacking side, and 3 of the first 4 goals were great deliveries by Trippier. He got 3 assists in the first 4 goals. They were just brilliant crosses, right on the money. Goal.
Oh, yeah, sorry. And, Gordon got the first assist, but then, he got the next 3, Trippier. Yeah.
So they were just too attacking, and then they just fell apart. Once they were about 4-0 down, they fell apart. Sheffield United, the heads looked like they went down. The pace and the strength of Newcastle was just too much for them. And they just could not cope with it. And it could have been more.
I mean, 3-0 down at half time, at home.
Yeah.
Surely that's where you're looking at your manager, first and foremost, to put in the necessary changes, tactic to make sure that it's damage limitation. Basically, they should, in theory, don't you think that they should concede no more than 2 in the second half, as a damage limitation, rather than concede 5 more?
That's what you'd like to think. I suppose it's probably hard if you want to change things, but the best players you got are on the pitch already. And you go, he might look round at his bench and go, "Oh God, I ain't got much here to make it better." And that's probably the truth. Probably hasn't. And that's why I say, unless you come up from the Championship, unless you spending money and reinforcing your squad, you're not going to do well.
Yeah.
And I think that's showing with Sheffield United and Luton. No, say for all the stick we gave Nottingham Forest last year for bringing in about 600 players, but it worked. They survived, you know, and they're looking better. They brought another load of players in this year, and they're looking better for it again. They don't look like there'll be an issue for them relegation. But them two teams now, you look at them and go, and you're basically writing them off already. It's very hard to see where they're going to get wins from, either team, especially Sheffield United. I just don't see where they're going to get the points that they need to compete to stay up. You just don't see it.
Right. Before we wrap this up, right, Luton and Burnley have obviously played one game less than everybody else, but between them, the three teams, they've played 16 games. Could you have envisioned that they would not one of them would have had a win by now? Like, did you? I mean, you probably anticipated that they was going to struggle, but would you not have thought that after this amount of time, one of them at least would have got a victory on the board?
Between three teams, you'd expect them to, yeah. Especially, at least a home game have a win. You would have thought Burnley would have put one on the board because, by all accounts, they were outstanding in the Championship last year.
Yeah.
But again, it's another Championship side that plays the way he wants to play and really doesn't have Premier League personnel on his team, by a couple of good players. And I think Burnley might do better than the other two, as the season goes on. But no, this many games and not a win between them. And then, the writing's on the wall for them unless they do something drastic. And the way the world is now, with these transfer windows, they can't go and spend money. They have to get to January. By January, it could be too late.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Final question before we end this year. I'm just looking now. The fixtures of those three teams, I want to see who's got the best chance of winning. Right, so let me go down here. Luton are away to Everton in their next fixture. Sheffield United away to West Ham. And Burnley. What the fuck is Burnley? Burnley are away to Newcastle. So all three are away. So that's it again. Luton away to Everton, Burnley away to Newcastle, Sheffield United away to West Ham. Which one of those fixtures has got the most chance of an away and first win?
None of them. None of them.
All right, I'm just giving you £1 million. You've got to put it on.
I think the best bet would be Sheffield United against West Ham, because we have to break down a low block.
Yeah.
And we're not very good at it.
Yeah.
That's it. But I don't see is it Luton at Everton?
Luton at Everton and Burnley at Newcastle.
I can see Everton win that. Burnley ain't beating Newcastle.
No.
I mean that they could battle on. All three teams could end up with a point.
Yeah.
But I don't see any three of them winning.
Yeah.
And I think we'll struggle to break down Sheffield United because we're not Newcastle.
Yeah.
And we're not very good at breaking down these teams that defend like we do. But I don't see any of them winning any of them games. I really don't. I'll say we could get suckered by Sheffield United if we can't break them down and they get a breakaway and score.
Yeah.
But that's all I could see. And I think, no. Well, can't see any of them.
I agree with you. If any, it would be Sheffield United. And, the reason is the same as you, but also after losing 8-0 at home, you have to have a response. So we would expect a response from Sheffield United after that mauling.
Yeah.
But the reality is this. West Ham, all right, yeah, we can get rid of Liverpool and Man City. But the reality is, like I asked you at the start, did you see enough to suggest that, the games that we should win, we should win? This is the game that West Ham should win.
Yeah.
Should win by.
We should win. And we should win it. And I'm pretty sure we will win it. But
yeah.
I'll say it's a tougher game for us because we got to break them down.
Yeah.
But we should win it. But the difference, what gives me confidence in this game is if they are playing a low block, which I presume they will be, and we're at them all the time, we'll end up with a lot of corners.
Yeah.
And the way Ward Prowse keeps putting on people's head, with his balls, it's frightening. And even that Liverpool game, he stuck one on Bowen's head that he should have scored as well.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, sorry, I saw that.
That was another one.
Yeah, sitters.
He should have scored it. He headed it straight at the keeper, and he had all the goal to aim for, standing there on his own.
Yeah.
Should have done better. And but again, that was another Ward Prowse whipped in from a free kick. I think that one right on the money.
Yeah.
So if we got a lot of corners against Sheffield United, I expect us to take at least one of them. One set piece and one goal. So that's what gives me confidence about beating them.
All right.
And we probably we might even get free kicks around the box if we're attacking them.
Yeah.
We might end up with a couple of free kicks that he's going to have a chance or two with. So yeah.
Right. Well, that wraps up this edition of the results roundup. And as always, appreciate Geezer's input, his knowledge. And yeah, we look forward to doing this again next week. Geezer, any final words?
No. No, I hate going to Anfield.
Yeah.
I went there many times and I never ever got a result there when I actually went and watched them. And I think we won there once in 60 years. I mean, that was in 2015. So, yeah, nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Many managers have, but the result hasn't changed.
Exactly. But yeah, we will see you all in the next one. Ciao.
Bye-bye.